Yo, this is Tone Kapone, and you're getting lifted to the sounds of my DJ, DJ Spaceship. Go ahead and beam him up, boy. Let's get him, get him, get him, get him, get him, get him.
Greetings and salutations from us to all the nations. We're about to get loose, strictly for entertainment. We're reppin' Tampa Bay, 10 toes down. It's waves up the bay. No, we ain't playing round. Saturdays from 10 to 12. Make sure you ride the wave. It's Tone Kapone and DJ Spaceship on your airwaves. We're mixing interviews, R&B and hip hop. We're blasting off, and the top is just a pit stop.
Yup.
I like that song.
That thing be jamming, man.
I like when Twice say big stop defense like a Buccaneer, and then J-Rock Buccaneer. You know what, man? I seen an interview recently, and I want to ask you this. I seen an interview recently with Cee-Lo from Goody Mob, and I sent it to J-Rock because I know he's a huge Dungeon Family fan like I am as well, and one of the guys interviewing said something that was really interesting and opened my eyes and made me think a little bit more. And he said when it comes to Atlanta rap, Cee-Lo is the GOAT. And I was like, like everybody else out there listening probably was like, nah, Cee-Lo, what about 3 Stacks? And when you really think about it, like when he broke it down, he was like, think about it, bars, pen, his writing game, production credit, body of work, and then he can sing, and then his impact in the game. Anybody that know me, I'm a huge Atl'S fan. Like I'm probably the biggest Atl'S fan anybody has ever met. I'm gonna say that on record. But I'm also a Goody Mob fan too. I love Cee-Lo. See what I'm saying? And when you really sit back and think about it, you look at Cee-Lo's body of work, like this man went on the Supernatural tour with the Fugees and Carlos Santana and Lenny Kravitz. You see what I'm saying? Like, and the advantage he has solo albums. 3 Stacks only has 1 solo album, technically. So I sent the interview to J-Rock, and I let him listen to it, to get his take on it. I asked him, I say, if there was a versus with 3000 and Cee-Lo, who would win and why? So I present that question to you.
That would probably be interesting because Cee-Lo can bring all the Goody Mob stuff into it. I still go 3 Stacks though, just because, man. I can't go against 3 Stacks now. You know what I'm saying? Even though what you're saying is kind of eye opening. It is honestly. Like when you sit down, like okay, so then Cee-Lo also told a story that I don't know if you knew. You know the song "Happy" with Pharrell. Pharrell recorded that song with Cee-Lo on that. Did you know that? Nah, but it sounds like a Cee-Lo song. Yeah. So when you listen to like the chorus and stuff, that sound like something that. And then when you think like Cee-Lo goes back to TLC Waterfalls. Did you know he sung on that chorus? So it's like, and then his whole first album. Did you know he produced his whole first album? No. Yeah. Like. And so all of those tracks right there. I mean, would you put him over 3 Stacks? When you go by their work, I'm gonna say yes because his catalog is deeper. And Cee-Lo ain't no pushover. Like I've listened to him and I'm like he got a song called Big Old Words. And he just goes snapping. You see what I'm saying? I remember listening to that on a rooftop in college, bro. Listen, and then he also referenced his verse off of on the song "Still Standing" off the Goody Mob album, and he killed that one. Man, listen. Yeah, man. He said the verse in the interview, and I had to stop the interview. I was like, whoa, wait. Like, I had to catch myself. I had to stop myself and go back and listen to him say it again, and had the same effect like 4 times in a row. You see what I'm saying? I've actually listened to some of the older Goody Mob recently. You know what I'm saying? Apple Music be putting in my face because I be here and there with my music choice. Right. Yeah, I've listened to that within the last month. Right. Yeah, that's still standing. Yeah. People forget about that one, man. Still standing. That's still classic with album. Not just an ATL classic. That's classic. Period. Hip hop classic. Man, please. You see what I'm saying? Come on with it. And then they asked the question to Cee-Lo, who he think would be a good versus for the Dungeon family. And the ones that he said, I didn't think he would, but he said he still, he said Wu-Tang.
And, you know, because, you know, it's 9 of them and they have their different projects and stuff like that. But that's Wu-Tang versus the Dungeon. So that's Outkast, that's Goody, that's Witch Doctor, that's Cool Breeze, you know, that's the Future, you know, Meathead. That's all of the Dungeon. If it was a versus between the Dungeon family and Wu-Tang, I give it the Dungeon family all day long. Because, you know, Wu-Tang...
We ain't no New Yorkers, though, man. Honestly.
You don't have to be a New Yorker to know.
I'm just saying, though, man. Some of these New Yorkers feel completely different, though.
But there's some people from the South that would pick Wu-Tang over the Dungeon family, too. But
I want it.
When you think...
But I'm from the Midwest.
But when you think Dungeon family, it's not... And then it's organized noise. Because that's Dungeon... Sleepy, Rico. You see what I'm saying? Like, they've done so much stuff outside of... You see what I'm saying? Outside of the Dungeon family with other people.
I'm still waiting on this Tribe Outkast versus. That's what I want to see. And then the 8-Ball and UGK one, they need to come on with that too, man. Like,
I want to see the Music Soul Child and Anthony Hamilton.
I'd watch it, but they can come harder than that, you know.
I think that if they did do that, when I give the edge to music,
they should have did that for Valentine's. What they should have did.
You think so?
They could have got something right now, like do it today.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I think a better fit for Valentine's Day would have been like the
Sade versus Nita Baker. I seen something like that.
That would have been a good one. They could have gave us what we've been talking about for the longest, Mary J.
They don't want to see that.
And Mariah, that would have been a good one. They could even held off. Well, no, they couldn't have held off that long. That'd have been a year in the game. So they could have did a part 2 to the Babyface and Teddy. In my opinion.
I don't think they need to do any part 2s to anything right now.
You don't think so?
Nah, they got to keep it fresh. They need to get on the game right now, for real.
Yeah, I mean the Keisha Cole and Ashanti was nice. I think that they gotta.
According to numbers, I think they did like the biggest numbers they had up until that point. Like,
yeah, that sounds nice, but I don't believe it.
You know, I probably watched about 10-15 minutes of it before I realized I should watch it with wifey, and I haven't gone back to rewatch it since then. So,
I think for me, the one with Babyface and Teddy Riley, that was a big one. Of course, Beanie Man and Vibes, that was a big one.
Killed it.
Who else they had? The DMX and Snoop Dogg, that was a big one. The Jada and Fab, not Jada and Fab, but the Jada, it was Jada and Fab. That was a big one. I just can't see that. They even did the gospel one. That was a big one.
That was refreshing.
That was
right
very
there.
refreshing. It was much needed too. I just think that. I mean, even the Erykah Badu and the Jill Scott was dope. That one was dope. But I just think that the Ashanti and the Keisha Cole one, I'd be shocked to see.
That was a letdown. They could have came with more higher names than that, you know, bigger names than that. So
yeah,
that was a letdown right there, honestly.
I want to see them go and get like a Puff versus a Dr. Dre.
I just need to see them get on that game. That's really what I want to see, because, you know, the Keisha Cole and Ashanti one was the last one. That was how long ago now?
It's been a while.
And I haven't heard anything else out of that.
And it was a while before that.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, no, it wasn't a while before that, because you had the Too Short and the E40. But, I mean, you got to be from the West or the Midwest to get that. You see what I'm saying?
I haven't even watched that one yet.
I ain't seen none of it.
Yeah. I keep meaning to watch it. I'm going to watch it.
I ain't gonna lie.
But it is what it is on that one. I expect Too Short to run away with that, though.
I ain't gonna lie. None of that. I mean, that's...
Well, this is Waves of the Bay, y'all. Tone Kapone, DJ Spaceship, chopping it up, man. We just went over a whole bunch of stuff real quick. Like, man, it is what it is, man. We out here just jamming, dog. This is Tone Kapone
and DJ Spaceship.
And Saturday nights from 10 to midnight, we bring you Waves of the Bay, right here on WMNF 88.5 Tampa.
With the hottest interviews, the hottest music.
You can submit your music for the Tampa Bay Watch segment at wavesofthebay@gmail.com or follow us on all social media at Waves of the Bay.
Every Saturday, 10 to 12. Make sure you come and ride the wave.
Yes, sir.